Welcome to our exciting journey into the world of rare and historic British coins. Today, we'll explore 5 remarkable one-penny coins of the United Kingdom, each from a unique and fascinating year: 1928, 1935, 1939, 1946, and 1967. These coins are more than just pieces of bronze. They are treasures that tell the story of Britain's rich heritage, from the reign of King George V through the post-war era under King George VI and into the modern age with Queen Elizabeth II. Each coin represents a different chapter of history, carrying cultural value, artistic beauty, and growing demand among collectors worldwide. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or just starting your collection, these coins offer something truly special, and you'll be amazed at their significance and value in today's market. So, let's dive in and uncover the fascinating details behind these extraordinary coins. Let's get started up with the remarkable one-penny coin of the United Kingdom from the year 1928. If you're a passionate numismatist or simply someone curious about the value of old coins, you're in for an exciting journey because this particular penny is not just an ordinary piece of metal. It carries historical significance, artistic brilliance, and a collectible appeal that continues to attract coin lovers across the globe. Let's begin with a bit of background. The 1928 one-penny coin belongs to the era of King George V, who reigned from 1910 to 1936. This coin was minted during a period when Britain was recovering from the First World War and moving towards economic stability. Coins from this era are often regarded as iconic because they reflect the strength and heritage of the British Empire during the early 20th century. Holding a 1928 penny is like holding a fragment of history that has survived nearly a century, and that makes it incredibly special for collectors. Now let's talk about the head and tail representation. On the obverse, or the head side, you'll find the portrait of King George V, elegantly inscribed with a Latin legend that reads, Georgius V. de Gra, Brit, OMN, Rex Fid, Def, Andi, IMP, which translates to, George V by the grace of God, King of all Britons, Defender of the Faith, Emperor of India. This inscription alone tells us about the immense power and influence Britain had during that period. On the reverse, or the tail side, you will see the classic seated figure of Britannia, holding a trident and shield, a timeless symbol of Britain's naval dominance and strength. The word, one penny, is boldly inscribed along with the year 1928 at the bottom, completing the coin's majestic design. Culturally and historically, this coin represents more than just currency. It is a testament to Britain's imperial era and its global presence. During the late 1920s, the British Empire spanned multiple continents, and this penny would have been in the pockets of ordinary citizens as well as travelers across the Commonwealth. For collectors, coins like these hold a nostalgic value that connects us to the past, telling the story of an age when Britain was shaping the modern world. When it comes to specifications, the weight of the 1928 penny is approximately 9.4 grams, and it is made of bronze, giving it a rich brown appearance that collectors adore. Its diameter measures 30.8 millimeters, making it a substantial coin that feels significant in the hand, unlike the smaller pennies of today. These dimensions remained consistent during King George V's reign, which adds uniformity to collections of this period. Now, let's highlight some key facts. The 1928 penny was minted in the millions, but surviving specimens in fine condition or better are becoming increasingly harder to find. Many were lost, damaged, or melted over the decades, which makes a well-preserved piece highly desirable. The coin's intricate details, especially the king's portrait and Britannia's figure, are the first areas collectors check to determine its condition. Speaking of rarity and collector demand, while the 1928 penny is not the rarest in the series, finding one in fine or extremely fine condition significantly boosts its value and desirability. Collectors often seek coins with clear inscriptions, minimal wear on Britannia's shield and trident, and strong definition on the king's hair and facial features. The better the condition, the higher the demand, and the price can rise considerably among serious numismatists. Now, let's address the big question. What is the current market value of the 1928 one-penny coin in dollars? In average circulated condition, these coins might fetch just a few dollars, but in fine condition, their value can range from $5,000 to $15,000, depending on the market. However, in extremely fine or uncirculated condition, the price can go much higher, often exceeding $30,000 or more, especially if it has retained its original luster. Rare high-grade examples sometimes appear in auctions and can surprise collectors with strong bidding competition. For those looking to start or expand their collection, here are some tips. Always purchase from reputable dealers or verified auction platforms to ensure authenticity. Pay close attention to the details. Look for sharp edges, legible inscriptions, and minimal wear on the high points of the design. It's also wise to store your coins properly in a dry, secure environment to maintain their condition and value over time. Collecting is not just about investment. It's about preserving history and appreciating the craftsmanship of a bygone era. In conclusion, the 1928 one-penny coin of the United Kingdom is a splendid piece of numismatic heritage that continues to attract collectors for its historical significance, classic design, and enduring value. Whether you are a seasoned collector or a beginner, owning this coin is like owning a tangible piece of British history. Its appeal will never fade, and its demand among enthusiasts remains strong. So, if you happen to come across one in fine condition, consider yourself lucky because you are holding a little treasure that has stood the test of time. Next up, the one-penny coin of the United Kingdom from 1935. This is not just an old coin, it is a treasure that speaks volumes about British heritage, craftsmanship, and culture. If you're passionate about numismatics or simply curious about the value of rare coins in today's market, then stay tuned because this penny has a story you will love. To begin with the background, the 1935 penny belongs to the era of King George V, one of Britain's most respected monarchs. This coin was struck during a period of transition and resilience, just a year before the king's death in 1936. The mid-1930s were significant years for Britain as the nation navigated through global economic challenges and prepared for new leadership. Coins from this period carry not only monetary value but also immense historical importance. They are a glimpse into an era that shaped the modern British Empire and the world at large. Now, let's look at the head and tail representation of this coin. On the obverse, you'll find the portrait of King George V, facing left, with a Latin inscription that reads, Georgius V. de Gra, Brit, OMN, Rex FID, Def, Andi, IMP. This translates to, George V, by the grace of God, King of all Britons, Defender of the Faith, Emperor of India. This inscription reflects the grandeur of the British Empire during that time. On the reverse, or tail side, sits the timeless figure of Britannia, helmeted and holding a trident in one hand and a shield bearing the Union Jack in the other. The word, one penny, and the date, 1935, are boldly inscribed, making the design both majestic and symbolic of Britain's strength and unity. From a cultural and historical perspective, the 1935 penny is more than just a denomination. It represents national pride and imperial legacy. Coins like these were part of everyday life, circulating through the hands of workers, traders, and families across the United Kingdom and even the far reaches of the British Empire. For collectors today, it serves as a tangible connection to an era when Britain was a global power, and every design detail on this coin reflects that historical significance. When it comes to physical details, the 1935 one-penny coin weighs approximately 9.4 grams, with a diameter of 30.8 millimeters, and is made of bronze, giving it that classic reddish-brown hue. Its substantial size and traditional composition make it stand out when compared to modern coins. The durability of the bronze alloy has allowed many of these coins to survive nearly 9 decades, though finding one in excellent condition is becoming increasingly difficult. Now, let's cover some key facts. Millions of these pennies were minted in 1935, but not all have survived in collectible condition. Over time, many were lost, melted down, or worn beyond recognition. For this reason, condition plays a crucial role in determining its value. Collectors particularly seek coins that retain sharp details on the king's portrait and Britannia's figure. Fine condition coins still show strong definition and minimal wear, making them desirable to enthusiasts who appreciate quality. Speaking of rarity and demand, while the 1935 penny is not among the rarest British coins, it enjoys high popularity due to its age, design, and historical context. In fine or extremely fine condition, its desirability increases significantly. Numismatists are always eager to add well-preserved specimens from King George V's era to their collections, and demand for these coins remains strong in both the UK and international markets. Now comes the part most collectors want to know, the current market value of the 1935 one-penny coin in dollars. In average circulated condition, it might fetch a few dollars, but a coin in fine condition can easily range between $12,000 and $20,000 depending on the quality and market trends. If you manage to find one in extremely fine or uncirculated condition, its value can rise dramatically, often exceeding $25,000 or more in auctions or among serious collectors. Special varieties, minting errors, or coins with exceptional eye appeal can even attract premium prices. For those interested in collecting, here are some essential tips. Always verify authenticity by purchasing from reputable dealers or trusted auction platforms. Pay close attention to details such as the clarity of inscriptions, the sharpness of Britannia's trident and shield, and the definition of the king's facial features. Proper storage is key. Keep your coins in acid-free holders and away from moisture to maintain their condition and long-term value. Remember, coin collecting is not just an investment. It's about preserving history and appreciating artistry. In conclusion, the 1935 one-penny coin of the United Kingdom is a beautiful piece of numismatic history that combines elegance, heritage, and collectability. Its enduring demand among enthusiasts is a testament to its historical and cultural significance. If you are fortunate enough to own one, consider it not just a coin, but a piece of Britain's rich past that continues to hold value and admiration even today. So, keep your eyes open, because treasures like these are always worth finding. At number 3, the one-penny coin of the United Kingdom from the year 1939. This coin is not just an old piece of currency. It is a treasured collectible that carries incredible historical significance, cultural value, and enduring demand among collectors around the world. If you have one of these coins in your possession, you might be holding something far more special than you think. Let us start with the background. The 1939 one-penny coin belongs to the reign of King George VI, who came to the throne in 1936 after the abdication of his brother, Edward VIII. The year 1939 is one of the most significant years in modern history because it marked the beginning of the Second World War. This coin circulated during a time of great uncertainty, change, and resilience, making it an important reminder of the era when Britain and its allies stood firm against global challenges. Owning a coin from 1939 means owning a piece of history that reflects the strength and determination of the British people. Now, let us talk about the head and tail representation of this coin. On the obverse or head side, you will find the elegant portrait of King George VI, facing left, with a Latin inscription, Georgiv 6D, G, BR, OMN, Rex F laughing face, ND, IMP, which translates to, George VI by the grace of God, King of all Britons, Defender of the Faith, Emperor of India. This title highlights the vast influence of the British Empire during that time. On the reverse or tail side, we see the classic figure of Britannia, seated proudly with a trident in her right hand and a shield in her left, symbolizing Britain's naval power and national pride. The words, one penny, and the year 1939 appear clearly, completing the timeless design that has become iconic in British coinage. Culturally and historically, the 1939 penny holds immense value because it represents the final years before Britain shifted its economy to a wartime footing. It was a time when everyday items, including coins, carried a sense of stability and continuity in a rapidly changing world. For collectors, this coin is a tangible connection to that pivotal year when history was being written, making it an essential piece in any serious numismatic collection. Moving on to the technical details, the 1939 one-penny coin weighs approximately 9.4 grams and measures 30.8 millimeters in diameter. It is composed of bronze, which gives it a classic reddish-brown tone that collectors love. These coins were minted in large numbers to support everyday transactions, but the passage of time has made well-preserved examples increasingly rare. When we consider the key facts, one of the most interesting points is that 1939 pennies were among the last full bronze coins produced before major changes in the economy due to the war. While many were circulated heavily, coins that have survived in fine condition or better are highly sought after today. Collectors look for sharp details on the king's hair and facial features, clear lettering, and minimal wear on Britannia's figure to determine quality. Speaking of rarity and demand, the 1939 penny is not considered the rarest British coin, but it has high collector demand due to its historical context and age. Its association with the beginning of World War II adds a layer of significance that makes it stand out from other dates in the series. In fine condition, these coins are quite desirable, and those in extremely fine or uncirculated condition are even more valuable and harder to find. Now, let us address the question on everyone's mind. What is the current market value of a 1939 one-penny coin in dollars? In average circulated condition, the value might be modest, around $1,000 to $3,000, but in fine condition, which retains most of the details, the price can range between $5,000 and $15,000. If you are fortunate enough to have one in extremely fine or uncirculated condition, the value can climb significantly, often reaching $40,000 to $60,000 or more, particularly among serious collectors or at specialized auctions. Unique varieties or minting errors can fetch even higher prices, making this coin a worthy investment for numismatists. For those looking to collect or preserve these coins, here are some useful tips. Always buy from trusted dealers or reputable auction houses to ensure authenticity. Examine the coin carefully for strong details and minimal wear, and avoid coins that have been overly cleaned, as this can reduce their value. Proper storage is essential. Use acid-free holders or capsules to prevent damage from moisture and air. Remember, every coin tells a story, and keeping it in pristine condition preserves that story for future generations. In conclusion, the 1939 one-penny coin of the United Kingdom is more than just an old coin. It is a piece of history that reflects the resilience, strength, and cultural identity of Britain on the eve of one of the most significant events in human history. Its elegant design, historical connection, and enduring popularity among collectors make it a truly special addition to any collection. If you come across this coin in fine condition, consider yourself fortunate because you have a treasure that continues to hold value and significance even after more than 8 decades. At number 4, the one-penny coin of the United Kingdom from 1946, a piece of history that continues to captivate collectors around the world. This coin is not just an old piece of bronze. It represents a significant era in British history, carries cultural importance, and remains in strong demand among numismatists. If you own one of these coins, you could be holding a little treasure with both sentimental and financial value. Let us start with the background. The year 1946 was an extraordinary period for Britain. It was the first full year after the end of the Second World War, a time of rebuilding, rationing, and hope for a brighter future. King George VI was on the throne, leading the nation through the post-war recovery. The coins from this period reflect stability during change and resilience during hardship. The 1946 one-penny coin was widely used by the British public, making it a tangible connection to the everyday lives of those who lived through a pivotal moment in history. Moving on to the design, the head and tail representation of this coin is classic and instantly recognizable. On the obverse, or the head side, we find the portrait of King George VI, facing left, with a Latin inscription, Georgius 6d, G, BR, OMN, Rex F laughing face, ND, IMP, which translates to, George VI by the grace of God, King of all Britons, Defender of the Faith, Emperor of India. This inscription not only conveys the monarch's titles but also reflects the remnants of the British Empire at that time. On the reverse or tail side, we see the proud figure of Britannia, seated with a trident in her right hand and a shield at her side, symbolizing Britain's naval power and national pride. The words, one penny, and the date, 1946, are prominently displayed, making this design one of the most elegant and historically significant in British coinage. From a cultural and historical standpoint, the 1946 penny carries deep meaning. It circulated during an era of change and hope when Britain was emerging from the devastation of war and transitioning into a new social and economic reality. Every coin from this period has a story to tell, making it far more than a simple piece of currency. For collectors, this adds a special sense of connection and nostalgia, which is why demand for coins from the 1940s remains strong today. In terms of physical details, the 1946 one-penny coin weighs approximately 9.4 grams, has a diameter of 30.8 millimeters, and is made of bronze, giving it the rich reddish-brown tone that collectors admire. Its substantial size and weight make it feel impressive compared to modern pennies, adding to its charm and collectability. Now, let us look at some key facts about this coin. Millions of pennies were minted in 1946, but after decades of circulation, very few have survived in fine or extremely fine condition. Many were worn down, lost, or damaged over the years, which makes a well-preserved specimen increasingly rare. Collectors value clear details on the king's hair and facial features, as well as strong definition on Britannia's trident and shield. These elements are the first indicators of a coin's quality and greatly influence its desirability. When it comes to rarity and demand, while the 1946 penny is not the scarcest of British coins, it enjoys steady popularity due to its historical context and the fact that it comes from the final era of large bronze pennies before major design changes occurred later in the 20th century. Coins from the mid-1940s are highly collected because they represent the closing chapter of Britain's traditional penny design and the post-war era. Now, let's talk about the current market value of the 1946 one-penny coin in dollars. In average circulated condition, this coin might only be worth $1 or $2, but in fine condition, like the one we are discussing today, its value can range from $5,000 to $15,000, depending on the overall quality and eye appeal. Coins in extremely fine or uncirculated condition can sell for much more, often exceeding $4,000 to $6,000, and exceptional pieces or those with minting errors can fetch even higher prices at specialist auctions. For collectors, here are some important tips to keep in mind. Always purchase from reputable sources to ensure authenticity and avoid counterfeits. Pay attention to key details such as the clarity of the inscriptions, the sharpness of Britannia's figure, and the overall color of the coin. Avoid coins that have been polished or harshly cleaned, as this can reduce their value. Storing your coins properly in protective holders will also help preserve their condition and ensure they retain their value for years to come. In conclusion, the 1946 one-penny coin of the United Kingdom is more than just a piece of old currency. It is a significant reminder of Britain's post-war resilience, an elegant example of classic coin design, and a highly desirable item among collectors worldwide. Its historical importance, combined with its growing scarcity in fine condition, ensures that this coin remains in strong demand and continues to appreciate in value over time. If you come across one in excellent condition, hold on to it, because you are holding a piece of history that will always be treasured by numismatists and history lovers alike. At last position, the one-penny coin of the United Kingdom from 1967. This coin may appear ordinary to some, but to collectors, it represents a fascinating period in British monetary history and holds a special place in the world of numismatics. If you have one of these coins in your possession, you might be surprised to learn how significant it can be and why it continues to be in demand among coin enthusiasts. Let us begin with the background. The year 1967 marked the final years before a major change in Britain's currency system. The shift from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system to decimalisation in 1971. This makes the 1967 penny one of the last of its kind, and that alone gives it historical significance. During this period, Queen Elizabeth II was on the throne, and Britain was undergoing cultural and economic transformation, moving towards modernization. Millions of these coins were produced for everyday use, but they carry an enduring charm because they represent the end of an era in British coinage. Now, let us look at the design, focusing on the head and tail representation. On the obverse, or head side, we see the youthful portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Mary Gillick. The inscription around the portrait reads, Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina F. Laughing Face : meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This image of the Queen became iconic and is a favorite among collectors for its elegance and simplicity. On the reverse, or tail side, is the timeless figure of Britannia, seated proudly holding a trident in her right hand and a shield beside her, symbolizing Britain's strength and naval heritage. The denomination, 1 penny, and the date, 1967, are clearly visible, making this coin both functional and beautifully designed. Culturally and historically, the 1967 penny is important because it represents the last chapter of the pre-decimal era in British currency. People used these coins daily for small purchases, and they were part of a lifestyle that soon vanished when decimalisation arrived. For collectors, this sense of nostalgia makes the coin more than just a piece of metal. It is a reminder of a system that defined British life for centuries. In terms of specifications, the 1967 one-penny coin weighs approximately 9.4 grams, measures 30.8 millimeters in diameter, and is made of bronze, giving it a rich, warm tone that collectors find attractive. It is a solid, well-crafted coin that feels substantial compared to the modern pennies we use today. Now, let us turn to some key facts. The 1967 penny was minted in large quantities, as it was intended for everyday use and also as a preparation for the coin shortage expected before decimalisation. While many examples exist, most are heavily worn due to circulation, which means that finding one in fine or extremely fine condition is becoming less common. A coin that retains sharp details of the Queen's hair and facial features on the obverse, and clear lines on Britannia's trident and shield on the reverse, is highly desirable. When it comes to rarity and demand, the 1967 penny is not classified as extremely rare because of its high mintage, but it is highly collected due to its historical importance as one of the last pre-decimal pennies ever made. Collectors all over the world look for well-preserved examples to complete their collections of British coinage. The demand for coins in fine or better condition is strong because these represent the best surviving examples of an era that will never return. Now, let us answer the question everyone wants to know. What is the current market value of the 1967 one-penny coin in dollars? In average circulated condition, this coin might be worth a small amount, around $10,000, but in fine condition, the value increases, often ranging between $25,000 and $30,000. If you happen to own one in extremely fine or uncirculated condition, its price can rise significantly, sometimes reaching $35,000 or more, especially among collectors who want the best quality examples. While it may not be the most expensive coin, its sentimental and historical value, along with its role in British numismatic heritage, makes it a prized possession for many collectors. For those interested in collecting or preserving these coins, here are a few essential tips. Always look for coins with sharp details and minimal wear, and avoid those that have been polished or harshly cleaned, as this can lower their value. Buying from reputable dealers or trusted auction platforms is the safest way to ensure authenticity. Proper storage in protective holders will help maintain the coin's condition and preserve its value for years to come. In conclusion, the 1967 one-penny coin of the United Kingdom is much more than an old coin. It is a historical artifact that represents the final years of an era that shaped British currency for centuries. Its elegant design, rich cultural significance, and connection to a time of major change make it a valuable and cherished piece for any collection. If you have one in fine condition, treasure it, because you hold a piece of history that will always have a special place in the world of coin collecting. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and found the information helpful, don't forget to give it a like, share it with fellow collectors, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting coin stories and rare finds. Drop your thoughts and questions in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, happy collecting and see you in the next video.